to be going over the stretching you're gonna need to do before you perform any calisthenic training or any strength training for that matter. So before you do a bench press, before you do deadlift, before you do anything, three of the most important joints and ligaments you want to take care of are your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist. Hurting any of these three is gonna really stagnate or backtrack you. So this is why it's so important for you to warm up and stretch them before starting any workout. Especially if you're doing anything like handstand, push-ups, planche, anything like that, you really want to have them like good to go before you actually perform the movement. That way you don't risk any injury. So the movements are basic and it shouldn't take you more than 5 to 10 minutes to complete the routine. Um, you do want to do a little bit more if you're a beginner. If you're more advanced, you still want to go through it with focus, but you can just try and stretch, warm it up a little bit, and then you're good to go. Now, if you're a beginner, I would really advocate for you to take this very seriously. So also for advanced athletes, you should also take it seriously. But you guys more or less will get adapted to it, or be more adapted to it. So it's gonna go by really quick. So this is all you're gonna do: wrist, stretch it inward, stretch it outward. Do that for both hands, and then just roll your wrists. One with your right, one with your left. You're gonna do this for both sides, obviously. So you should be doing this for like 10 seconds for the stretches, 10 seconds for the rolls. And then you also want to stretch your shoulders. So I'm going to give you a couple of stretches for that. One is going to be just you can use a wall, you can use a pole, you can use anything you have to your disposal that is in a vertical line. All you're going to do is place your elbow in and then shift your body towards the opposing side. And make sure you feel the stretch in the shoulder. Don't just do the movement like without any focus. Be sure that your ligament is being stretched. And then you're gonna do the same for both sides. So left and right. And now we're gonna do shoulder rolls. So like I said, you can keep it 10 to 20 seconds and just do 1 or 2 circuits just to get that scapula and those shoulders like warmed up. And then your shoulder protraction and your shoulder retraction. So this is really going to warm up the scapula. So if you're doing any pull-ups, planche, front lever, this is going to be really good for you to have it ready. Now, I have had myself injured doing front lever before because I didn't do this. So you have to be very careful. This could lead to a dislocation of your ball and socket, or it could lead to your elbow just stinging. It's important for you to practice these movements. That way your body can get ready for the actual training. So the protraction and retraction. This is going to be the retraction. So you're going to kind of flex your back and then push your shoulders out. And then the protraction. Now when you do the protraction, you do have to feel like your scapulas are opening up. So like your back is widening out. Don't just do this. Actually try and like think about yourself hugging a tree, a bark that is like that's gonna open up your scapulas. So you do have to do that. Like I said, stick with 10 to 20 seconds, 1 or 2 sets. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to apply that much time into it. And then the final stretch I'm gonna show you guys is only if you're a little bit more advanced and you feel more mobile and you're a little bit more light. So it's also a progression towards back lever, but it sure works as a great stretch for your frontal deltoid and for your overall scapula. So the stretch is skin the cat. So you might be familiarized with it if you're training for back lever. So what you want to do, you want to have at least your toes to bar. If you do not have toes to bar yet and you're still working on it, you can skip this movement and just do the ones that I previously mentioned. So grab onto the bar, lift your body up, make sure your legs cross over your arms, and then just drop yourself. Do this for a couple of times, 5 to 10. I'll recommend if you're a beginner, you can do it 3 to 10. Try to keep it at 3 minimum. If you still can't do 3, then just keep working on your strength to get to that point. So those are going to be the wrist, elbow, and shoulder mobility drills. Try to apply these anytime you're going to train for any movement that involves any of the joints with the wrist, joints with the elbow, or joints with the shoulder. This is really going to prevent you from overexerting the ligaments and potentially causing you injury.